Hello and welcome back to Strong Body, Strong Mind, Balanced Life. My name is Heather Monthie. I'm glad you're here for today's episode. This is a sub-series of the podcast called The Healthy Mindset Reset. And this is where we talk about different healthy mindset topics. And in April, this is April 2025, our theme for the month is Finding Strength and Stillness. And so today's topic is Strength and Stillness, the discipline of doing less. Today's theme is one that I hold very close to my heart and one that challenges a lot of what we've been taught to value. The discipline of doing less. Let's just let that settle for a second. In my morning movement and mindset reset yoga class this morning, we used the same theme. And what I'm going to start doing is we have yoga on Wednesday mornings. And then I record this healthy mindset reset later on Wednesday afternoons. It's available on my website at sorellawellness.co, SORELLA, sorellawellness.co. You can go there and you can actually sign up to come listen to this live over Zoom. No cameras need to be turned on. You just listen to what the theme is for the day. And so today we started with April's theme of strength and stillness, the discipline of doing less. And so we took a few seconds, more than a few seconds to let this settle in. And I want to do that right now. Doing less is a form of discipline. Stillness is a form of strength. Let's hold that and let that just settle in for a second. In a world that constantly is pushing us to do more, to be more, to achieve more, to stay busy at all costs, stillness, relaxing, having nothing to do, being content can feel uncomfortable. It might even feel irresponsible. How many times have you felt guilty for taking an afternoon and kicking your legs back and maybe watching a little Netflix or taking a break and sitting in your backyard and reading a book? It's oftentimes easy to feel guilty for just taking some time to be still. Today, I want to invite you to explore how choosing stillness, so pausing, resting, simplifying your life, can actually be the most powerful, courageous move that you can make. Let's talk about hustle culture. If you've been around me any length of time, you know that I used to give in to hustle culture. I used to give in to this idea that you could sleep when you're dead. There's a lot of things that you want to do and get done, and you need to hustle hard, and you need to do all the things. Busy schedules, packed calendars, long to-do lists, the constant feeling of go, go, go. And it was exhausting. It was absolutely exhausting. I didn't want to miss out on things. I wanted to go have fun, but I also still wanted to accomplish and achieve and do all the things. And somewhere along the line, you, maybe, started tying our worth to how productive we were, how productive we are. Maybe you're doing this now. How fast we move, how much we check off the list. It's exhausting. And for many of us, especially women, that hustle has been glorified as the gold standard of success. One thing I've learned over the years, and I still have a lot to learn, but one thing I've learned over the years is that you are not your productivity. It's not it's not what defines you. It's not your self-worth. Doing more doesn't always mean you're doing better, and busyness doesn't mean progress. One thing that I had to do was learn how to say no. Say no to things that didn't fit in with my goals, things that just didn't fit in my timeline right now. We're going to talk about that later on this month, about just how to say no. How do we say no to things? And no is a complete sentence. We see this all over the internet. No is a complete sentence. We're going to talk about that more later. I want you to think about it this way, that sometimes constantly doing is actually a way to avoid being. It's to avoid feeling, to avoid knowing. And that's where stillness comes in. So stillness isn't about doing nothing. It's about choosing presence over performance. It is a conscious, powerful pause. I think since I've started implementing this in my life, I can go anywhere. I can sit. I don't need to have my phone. I don't need to be listening to a podcast like you are right now. LOL, right? I don't need to be reading a magazine or reading a book. I can just sit and be present. And I will tell you I can't even begin to tell you how many people will come up to me and ask me if I'm okay, if I'm bored, if I need something to do. And no, it's just I'm being present. It's a conscious, powerful pause. It's saying I don't need to earn my rest. I deserve to breathe. I deserve to listen. It's about noticing when your nervous system is screaming for a reset and honoring that before you burn out. Stillness takes discipline because the world won't slow down for you. You have to choose it on purpose. You have to take control of doing less. So what does that look like? How do you apply this in your day-to-day life? I can't say no to this. I can't say no to that. I can't say no to this. I can't say no to that. It might look like saying no to that extra commitment when your plate is already full. You might have to say no. And, this is hard for some people, for a lot of people, but you know what? Sometimes the mess is still going to be there tomorrow. You don't have to clean things up right now. You can just take a moment and chill. And if you're the kind of person that you can't chill until it's cleaned up, that's fine. Then clean it up, but then chill. It might also look like taking a tech-free walk without a podcast or any sort of agenda. Just go. I always take my phone with me. You never know. There's always emergencies. You always want to be prepared, right? But just maybe put it in your pocket. Turn it on Do Not Disturb. Take that tech-free walk and don't listen to music. Don't listen to podcasts. Just observe everything that's going on around you, the sounds, the sights, the smells. Observe all that. Maybe you sit in silence for 3 minutes before you start your day. In my morning movement yoga class, we have silence in every yoga class. We sit in silence. And, it's over Zoom, so everybody's in their own environment. So the silence might be different. It might be a completely quiet room. It might be construction noise going on outside the window. It might be your neighbors upstairs being loud and stomping on the floor for the 8 millionth time. But it's you sitting in stillness, observing those sounds, acknowledging them, and moving on. It might be pausing mid-hustle to ask yourself, why am I rushing? Why am I rushing through this? These may seem small, but these are acts of radical self-trust. You're telling yourself, I don't have to prove anything to be worthy of rest. I am not falling behind. I'm aligning with myself. So what happens when we slow down? When we embrace stillness, even just for a few minutes a day, we begin to shift. Our nervous system moves from survival mode to a place of healing and clarity. Our thoughts become more spacious. We can observe them instead of being ruled by them. Our intuition becomes louder. We start to hear what we really need to hear. Our energy becomes more intentional. We do fewer things, but we do them better. We become people who move with purpose instead of panic. We make decisions from clarity, not urgency. and we begin to trust that resting isn't a setback, it's a strategy. I want to offer you a simple reflection practice you can carry with you this week. Take 3 minutes, just 3 minutes, and sit in stillness. No phone, no podcast, no journaling, just you, your breath, and your awareness. Now ask yourself what comes up. Not to fix it, just to witness it. Then ask yourself, where in my life am I doing too much to prove something? Well, I've been there. What would doing less here look like? And what might happen if I trusted that slowing down was actually the way forward? Just take 3 minutes. Set your timer on your clock. You don't need to look at it. Strength isn't always loud. Sometimes it's soft, it's quiet, it's rooted. Sometimes strength is saying, I don't need to hustle to be whole. I trust myself enough to pause. I know my power doesn't disappear in the stillness. It actually rises there. So this week, I invite you to practice the discipline of doing less. And notice the quiet strength that begins to build inside of you when you do. So thank you for spending this time with me today. If this message resonated with you, feel free to share it with someone who you think needs a gentle reminder to slow down too. I'll see you next week in the next session. Until then, breathe, reset, and remember, stillness is strength.